All right, friends, this whole presentation will be spoken to you right into your headphones. You are the boss of your headphones. You're going to notice that we're in a slightly wild and loud environment. You have volume control. Yes, you do. So there's a little turny knob on the side of your headphones. If it's too loud, turn it down. If it's not loud enough, I'm going to tell you, the rappers, they get to going, and you're going to want control of your headphones. So again, just a little twisty knob on your headphones, and you have got the keys to your own castle. You are the master of your own ship when it comes to volume. A couple things I want to let you know for the good of the order before we get started. Let's take a look at this here slide. We have the services of Interpretify here for you. So if you want audio translation, if you would like captions, all you have to do is scan this QR code with your mobile device. It'll get you right there onto the platform. Let's take a look at that second slide. As you can see, we've got language interpretation in a variety of different languages. So again, if you would like support via captions or a different language, just go on and scan that QR code. We have so many people we need to thank to help not only make this panel a success, but all of the panels and the entire Northwest Event Show a huge success. Can we get a round of applause? And here, when we can't really hear each other so well, we do applause like this. Sparkle fingers, hey! So we get a round of applause for our session sponsor, Loophole Animation. Show me your sparkle fingers. Let's see them. There we go. We also want to thank our AV sponsors. They're the friends right there in the back who are giving us sound. They are giving us lights. Let's get some sparkle fingers for Blue Danube and Audio Engineers Northwest. Now you're going to notice they are strategically also located right back there with their booths. And Audio Engineers Northwest, they know how it goes when you're at a trade show all day. They got phone chargers for you over there. So if you need to charge your phone, if you want to go over there and hang out and kick it, they've got some fun stuff with you. Please do go say hi. Now, it really does take a village. It's people, it's organizations, it's businesses who come together to make this fabulous Northwest Event Show a huge success. Clearly, this event means a lot to the community, and that's why they show up in the way they do. So sparkle fingers for all of our sponsors and partners. And now, my friends, you came here because you were like, I was told this panel is called There is Finally a Better Way, Automation for the Events Industry. You are correct. You have arrived at the right place. So allow me, please, to introduce you to your moderator, Archer Lawrence. Archer is the CEO and co-founder of Loophole Automation, this session's sponsor, FYI, where he leads sales, business development, partnerships, and client strategy. Prior to Loophole, Archer spent 4 years in the events industry where he built internal automations and trained teams on practical automation workflows. With that, Archer, turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. The topic of this panel today focuses on a chronic problem in the events industry. Most event businesses are running on a layer of tedious manual work that no one really enjoys. You know, we all sort of run into this. For a long time, we just accepted this as part of the job, unfortunately. But today, we're here to tell you, actually, in the words of Liz here, there's finally a better way. I thought that was a very clever title. So these three, but actually two, we have one more that may come running in here at the last moment, but have seen what it is on the other side of that to be where there's finally that better way. And each of them have a different angle, so what that looks like. So we're here today to learn a little bit about their experience with automation as event professionals. So first of all, we have Liz Sexton here, principal of By Purpose Creative, with over 20 years in event production and fundraising. She currently serves as the secretary of the board for NACE Greater Seattle. We have Lisa Schulteis, event strategist and consultant at Electroline Marketing and executive director of the show we are all at today, so a very special guest, and an international speaker specializing in neuroscience-driven event design. So let's get into it. And I will speak a little bit about David Schwartz, who was meant to be here today, but he's the founder and CEO of Orion Entertainment, one of the Pacific Northwest's most recognized DJ and entertainment companies. He's currently serving as my president on the ILEA Seattle board. I'm the chair. So the opening question for you two is, imagine each of you did not get into this industry to do admin work, but it never really ended up having to be saddled a fair amount. So prior to us all working together, how did that work affect the parts of your job that you actually enjoyed? Liz, let's start with you. How did it affect the job and the parts that you really enjoyed?
Sorry, he changed the question. Well, I'll just start by saying what we did together. I worked at another company, a larger event planning firm, and we did a proposal process automation. So a lot of people use like a CRM that spits out their proposals for any new client, returning client. We had a very robust system that we had created, but it was not a software. And it worked really well for us because we had we always customize every single scope of work. And that was just because that's what it requires with our particular clients. And there was no software that would do that for us. And what we had created was beautiful graphic design, all these sorts of things. It did everything we needed it to do, but it took us a really long time to make a proposal. So we worked with Loophole, and they created a really streamlined proposal process for us. And actually, it turned into multiple other things that we were able to automate as well. So I'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, this is David.
I have a friend.
Welcome, David. Impressive. Well done.
Y'all, he's been sitting in traffic all morning, so if he seems fried, just, give him an extra hug today. So Lisa Schulteis, we have, for this show, you guys see how many sponsors and partners we have on that board. If I know you guys get tired of all my emails. If you read the tech stack email, you know how many partners we work with to actually make this show happen from a tech standpoint, including our CRM and things like that. So my biggest struggle and headache was when somebody signed a contract to exhibit at the show, I then had to get them into about 6 different systems. And we have been doing that work manually I've been involved in the show for 3.5 years now. We've been doing that the show's 32 years old, right? We're getting better about automation. So what was important to us was to see how we could automate that process to say when it gets signed here, how can we get it into these 6 other places without Lisa having to do it? Because we have a very small team for this show. For those of you who don't know, we have the owner, 2 salespeople. We brought on 2 marketing people this year. That was a big win. And me. That's it for this show. So it was really important for us that we automate everything and try to get all the systems talking to us, because I think as planners and event organizers, that's our biggest headache, is that tech stack that still doesn't talk to each other in this world of AI and API.
Could you repeat the question?
Welcome.
Yeah. First of all, welcome, David.
We're just saying what we did with
what did we
right
do,
now.
and how did it sort of, assist into admin stuff that you were stuck?
Gotcha. So, hi everyone. Sorry for being late. My name is David Schwartz. I'm the owner of Orion Entertainment, and we hired Loophole, or we're currently using an automation system really to help us manage our staffing, but also just to kind of pool all the data we have and collect it into one place and make it a much more usable interface for us as business owners. Excuse me while I'm still trying to catch my breath. I did run up here all the way from the parking garage. So, but yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. We'll get a little further into that. So, Liz, your work as an event producer is highly personal and creative, right? It's the kind of work that on the surface, it feels like it really shouldn't be automated. So, when you first started thinking about introducing automation into that kind of process, how did you approach it without losing sort of what makes your work feel so custom in the way that you were talking about?
Yeah, I mean, yes, everybody who's not in this industry thinks that events are the pretty stuff that you see, right? The theme and the decor and all of that. But I actually spend way more time on spreadsheets than I do on, say, picking out linens, as hard as picking out linens is. I am really big believer in systems and processes. So we already had this really robust process. We had multiple documents that all fed to the next one. We'd really thought out what we wanted that final product to be. It was really just, how do we make this easier? And I think for us, the way that I mostly do fundraising galas. So those all happen at the same time. It's like April and October. You're like an accountant, right? So we're really, really busy. It also so happens that most gala clients want to start working on their event 6 months before. So you are literally in the busiest time trying to execute all of these events, and then you're also hearing from all of your next season clients who want their proposal done who want their timeline, who want to start getting ready to go, and it's chaos, right? There was times where we would have clients, like a new client come to us, I'd do the meeting with them, I know what they needed, and it would take easily 2 to 3 weeks to get back to them with that actual proposal. So after we were able to automate this, I could have that 40-minute meeting with them, fill out a checklist, and literally press a few extra buttons while I drank my coffee, which was like my favorite part of this whole thing, because I actually had like 2 minutes to drink coffee. And it would spit out. And so 15 minutes after the meeting, I'm now able to send the proposal to the client. It would be a same day thing. And for me, that goes back to your personal interactions with people and client relations, right? Like, this isn't about spreadsheets. This is about, can my first impression with this client be that I'm going to be there and I'm going to be responsive for your event? And so I think that just completely changed sort of everything for us.
Thank you. Yeah, it's an excellent answer. So Lisa, you've worked across complex operations with a lot of different tools, as you were mentioning earlier, vendors, bunch of moving parts. So one thing is that we find when things feel chaotic, many people assume they just don't have the right software, and so they look around for another one and another one and another one, and they're sort of always shopping musical chairs of software. So in your mind, what's actually going on there, and what's a better solution to that?
So first off, all-in-one solutions do not exist, y'all, right? So every software is really good at a few things, but not at everything. And so I think what happens is we get shiny object syndrome. We go look for something new. Then we have to implement it. Then it doesn't work the way that we really wanted it to. So now we're trying to figure out what, right? Like, it's this eternal kind of circle from hell that we all live in, right? So I think for us, I'm looking at Baba, who's our rapper, who's all of a sudden going to be like Lisa saying circle of hell. It's coming in the rap, I'm telling you guys, right? But I think for us, across my clients, right, I think for us that automation is really important, because if I can get the systems to talk to each other, I don't need to go find a new system. I don't need to train my staff on a new system. I don't need to go make up how I'm going to make this happen in a new system, right? I just need my systems to work. And so if I can take that and I can automate that conversation between my systems, then I can be human. Like you were talking, it's the relationship. And I can let my systems do the work and not only take the time off of my plate, but take the stress and everything that goes with it off my plate, so I can have those conversations.
Fantastic. So now down to you, David. Before we met, you were dealing with some tedious busy work on the staffing side, emailing, texting, and all that. And you'd actually gone out and tried to find some automation service.
That is correct, yeah. Well, not an automation service, but we were really in the market for a staffing software that was going to be all-encompassing for our really specific needs. Just to briefly explain, like, the DJ industry itself is very scattered. It's very disorganized, and DJs in general, I would say, kind of have a reputation for being a little bit unorganized, maybe showing up late, whoops. But using automation tools was something that was really helpful for us, and it's specifically the one that we had designed was so helpful because we were able to get really specific things that we knew that were going to help us be able to achieve the things that we wanted to, namely getting shifts filled over everything else. And I, just to give you an example, excuse me, just had to basically text all of my DJs. That's the only way I can get them to respond to just about anything. They've gotten a lot better at emails, but really we let what we call our headliners, so our client-facing talent, do most of that communication, but we have a lot of other staff needs that need to be filled. We do photo booths as well, and we also have our assistant DJ program. And now the system that we're using allows our DJs to actually select the shifts that they want, as opposed to me individually asking each person if they're willing to accept the shift, and then I would have to wait several days before I hear back. Now all of my shifts are basically filled for my assistant DJ and my photo booth tech positions through the end of the summer already. So I get to spend more time matching my clients with their talent and really taking the time to decide which one of my headliners is going to be the best fit for this client. And I can really spend the majority of my staffing decisions on my top position there in order to really make sure that it's a good fit. So it gives me more time to spend time on the most important staffing position there, whereas I can get all these kind of more easier to fill shifts filled automatically, and I no longer have to be the one chasing people down, confirming, and keeping track of everything. It also sends me, for example, email reminders to book a ferry ticket if I have an event on San Juan Island. So 2 months before that particular event, I will get an email that says, hey, don't forget to book your ferry ticket. And that would be something that would be the last thing on my mind, and then, a week of the event or whatever, I'd be like, oh my God, forgot to grab that ferry ticket, and then you have to figure out and scramble to get it last minute. But now with 2 months notice, it's so much easier to just go on, get my ferry ticket, then you can always change it later on if you need to. But those are just some examples of the system that we created that was super unique to what we needed, that we weren't going to be able to find on just a run-of-the-mill staffing software.
So jumping off of that, automation is a pretty broad term, and you can see here that there's 3 very different solutions here, right? So a relatively limited proposal generation process, integration between several platforms, and for David, more or less a complete custom full platform. And we run into a lot of clients who aren't even really familiar with what we do, and they're not really sure what automation can do. And so I'm wondering for you guys, this is a little bit of a curveball, but was there a moment in the process where you found like, oh, there's sort of an aha moment, I didn't even realize we could do that. I didn't realize this was a sort of extra thing that we could add on. And yeah, how did that change your mind about what automation could actually do for you?
Yeah, I can take that. So we started just wanting to make the proposals easier, right? But as we got into it, we realized that there's so many things down the line that actually come back to the scope of work, right? So there was the planning timeline, there was the production book, our meeting notes with our clients. All of those actually had elements that originate with that proposal, and so they were able to just take the information they already had and spit out. And again, we had really good processes here, so I'm just saying it doesn't just spit out unless it's set up that way. But I think that they were able to say, oh, we can cross-reference this checklist of your services, and now because you already have this wonderful spreadsheet that, with all the VLOOKUPs and all these sort of things, those 2 things can talk to each other. And now your timeline, which honestly used to take me before we did the like robust spreadsheet, it would take me like 8 hours to create that. Once we got there, it was more like 3 hours. Now it was spitting out at the same time as everything else. So the number of hours you save in 1 year pays for the cost of of doing it, and then you have it perpetually.
Yeah, so we're running up a little bit on time, so maybe I'll move on to the next one for you last 2. But so, this panel's called "There's Finally a Better Way." So in your mind, after doing this work, and obviously things can grow and change going forward, because thinking about your businesses and improving them over time is a continuing process. But for you, now that there is finally a better way, what does it look like in your work? What has changed exactly?
Yeah, we're going to keep improving on it, right? So, for me, it was the time. It was the time that it was giving me to do my other 55,000 roles for this job.
She is a miracle worker.
I'm insane, y'all. I haven't slept in a week. So that's it for me, right? It's given me the time, and now it gives us a chance post-show to say, okay, this is what worked really well. And where else did we not think about doing this, right? I have a digital marketing background. I've been doing workflows for 15 years. But where else can we actually now take this and improve it one more step? And then improve it one more step, right? So we're going to continue to build on this so that we can take the stuff that we shouldn't take our talented people's brain power for and let them do their job. And then take the stuff that the computer can do and let it do its job. So for us, it's going to be continual growth.
Okay, David, I have one in particular for you. Maybe jumping on that in particular. Sure. It's like a lot of people think, and even we have in our booth over there, the idea of, what would you do with 10 hours back in your week? And when we were talking to you after, a lot of people answer with, as you're saying, this is more what we can do for work. But you said do some more tennis.
Yeah. No, it certainly freed me up to be able to do more things I enjoy more than anything else. But like you were saying, it's the time that you save, yes. But for me, it's opening up my portal and just seeing green for the next 2 months and being like, oh, I don't have to panic because I've got 3 shifts this weekend that need to be filled and I need to text people. If somebody, for example, drops a shift for an event coming up this weekend, they'll text me and be like, what do I do? I'll be like, drop the shift. Because the second they do that, it sends an email out to everyone who is eligible to pick up that shift. And then boom, like it used to be this process where I would then frantically text 15 people, wait to see if anyone would respond, and then be like, well, I guess I'm going to go work that event myself today, right? Now we get these things filled so quickly, and I don't have to, spend even a second doing it. It's like they'll give me that text. I say, just drop the shift because the system works better than I ever could. And so not only, of course, does it save me time, but it's just that last minute panic stress that we all face, trying to deal with situations like that. But really it's more like I sit down to my desk and I go like, instead of saying, okay, well, now I got to spend the next 8 hours staffing and waiting to hear back and keeping track of everything, it's really like that does its own thing. I can sit down and kind of take a scan at it, see if there's any problem areas that need to be addressed. But really, it just makes it so that for the most part, these things are already taken care of, and then I can work on other things that really do require my attention. So the time that I am spending, I think I'm getting more value. My business is getting more value out of my time. I think that's really important too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Alrighty, well, it looks like we're at time. Thank you all very much. Liz Sexton, Lisa Schulteis, David Schwartz. Thank you so much, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Audrey.
Thanks for having us.
Of applause for our presenters.
Baba's coming up.
Right.
Give them some sparkle fingers.
Check
Thank you
1
so
2.
much.
Check 1 2. I love wrapping into headphones. How's everybody doing today? All right. So I'm here with Event Wrap. That's our booth right over there. And yesterday we were in the continuing education sessions, writing wrap summaries. This was only a 20-minute session, so I had to frantically write this. Before I kick the wrap that I just created, I will say, full disclosure, I use no AI in this process. All I do is take frantic notes and convert them into rhymes and then quickly load it into a little teleprompter app. This rap did not exist 20 minutes ago, and now it's a full song. And, we're going to see. We'll go toe-to-toe with the AIs and see if automation can take over this job. But so far, not yet. So let's just drop that beat, and we'll... Yeah, there we go. I want to see heads nod. Only the headphone people know what's happening. Everybody else is like, what's wrong with the silent disco? All right, here we go. Yo, we're looking forward to a better day. We're so ready to automate. We're looking forward to a better day. Oh, we're so ready to automate. And now there's finally a better way. We're so ready to... We're looking forward to this better way. 'Cause we're so ready to... automate, make life easier, why not? Automate everything, just not my job. Automate the boring stuff, and that's good times, like the contract process. Lisa Schulteis from Electrolime, so check the dope rhyme or the staffing. Ask David Schwartz from Orion Automation, baby. I'm down for the cause. David just ran here from the parking garage, and why can't we automate that? I mean, just get a robot runner to keep David's schedule on track. Get the automation agents working next to you. Humans don't need to do every single review. Just sit back and drink coffee. That's the inflection. Add purpose to your creations like Liz Sexton. Step into the new role in the new mode. And if it's not with Archer, then don't call it a loophole. It is all about empowering and letting us speak. And have mercy on Lisa. She hasn't slept in a week. Just let the computer step up and do its job. Just thank God that the computer can't do hip-hop, because we're all looking forward to a better day. Oh, we're so ready to automate. And now there's finally a better way. We're so ready to... We're looking forward to the better day. People, we're so ready to automate. We're looking forward to the better way. Wait. There we go. All right, you guys want to hear verse 2? I write fast. All right, check it. 1, 2. Because we're so ready to... and we're working it well. Let the circuits propel. Lisa called it, release us from the circle of hell and let us be more human. We want more music. We want David Schwartz. We want more dance floor movement. Humans feel it and they know what is entertainment. We know what entertainment is. Super spontaneous. Humans are all for the beats and for the rapping. Automation is just helping David with some staffing, and it's not about people ignoring. It's all about automating what's extremely boring so David and his DJs can get the party started for us with his back end backed up by Archer Lawrence. So listen to the true flow. Hands up if you know. About to book a couple new rappers with Loophole, cause I'm someone you can't throw for a loop. And yo, come by and get a new flow from our booth. The only freestylers up here in the biz. We spit it out and that's what we've been about. Liz, these were cooked up. These rhymes on a robust spreadsheet. Eric B and Rakim, baby, check the technique, cause we're looking forward to a better day. We're so ready to, and now there's finally a better way. So we're so ready to, we're looking forward to a better day. And we're so ready to, and now there's finally a better way. And we're so ready to, thank you very much. I'm Bobby Brinkman. We're here with Event Rap. I wrote that shit in 15 minutes.